How's everybody today? Good. Well, we continue to try to get our players to lock in and focus on the things they need to do to eliminate errors in execution that lead to negative plays, penalties, big plays on defense, guys not playing together. So this is something that we really try to emphasize all week long with the players, and in some cases we've gotten a very good response. But in games like this, in weeks like this, in rivalry games, I'm never really satisfied with where we are. So we're being very encouraging to get better in terms of what we got to do. We want to finish our preparation so we can have the best chance to be successful against a very good Tennessee game, challenging conference game. Like I've said before, rivalry games are always a little bit different. It really doesn't make any difference what your record is or what your stats are. It's how you play in that particular game, knowing the other team is always going to play probably their best against you. So, we don't need to think about winning. We need to think about what we need to do to dominate the guy we got to play against for 60 minutes in the game, and that'll give us the best chance to win. So I'd just like to take a minute to express, our deepest gratitude and sympathies for, Alti Tenpenny and his family. Alti was a part of our family here and is special to a lot of people and good friends with a lot of our players. And I did have the opportunity to visit with his mother today and express the entire university and our organization's condolences to, their family, and our thoughts and prayers are certainly with the Alti and his family. Ryan Kelly is making progress. He did practice a little today, did some things in practice, and mostly non-contact type stuff, but was able to move around, and we'll see how he responds, to that tomorrow, and maybe he'll be able to do a little bit more.
Start with Aaron right here. Speak up, Aaron. We're having trouble with the microphones.
Your outside linebackers have gotten some good pressures this year. I think they account for 30 your total sacks on defense. How much do you think Tosh has played a role in that, helping kind of that unit as pass rusher?
Well, I think Tosh has been a really positive addition to our staff, in a lot of ways. He's very positive, upbeat. Players like him. He's got a lot of energy. He's been a defensive line coach, and one of the things that he's spent a lot of time on is, pass rush and improving pass rush. And I think he and Bo work well together, and, that's helped our edge rushers a little bit. It's also helped us have some new ideas about, the way we go about playing third down and how we pressure people, which has been beneficial to us to this point. So, he's made a very positive impact, on all the players that we have that rush from the outside.
Coach, how is Bo Scarbrough coming along, and how much closer do you feel like he is to being able to play and be a factor for you guys on offense?
Well, Bo's getting better and better every week. I see, the speed coming back. I see the burst coming back. Biggest thing, is we got to get him up to speed on knowing what to do and, getting him enough reps in practice to get him ready to be able to play in a game, although I do think he's ready to play in a game now. I do think he can make a contribution, and, that's coming sometime soon. He's also, we're trying to work him into special teams and get him up to speed on what he needs to do to be able to contribute there, because he would be a very good special teams player for us.
Now, what have you seen from Jalen Hurts, their running back, Tennessee's running back?
Well, he's an outstanding player. He's a big, strong, physical guy, runs with a lot of competitive character and toughness. He's hard to bring down. He breaks a lot of tackles, really tenacious in the way that he carries the ball. And it's certainly going to be a challenge for our defense to tackle well in this game, especially the way he runs, the way Alvin runs, the way the quarterback runs. All those guys, when you watch the film, there's a lot of people miss a lot of tackles, and they're creating that. So it's going to be a real challenge for us to tackle well in this game against some very good players.
A couple more, Michael. Just when you got to Alabama, when did you learn about this Tennessee rivalry, and what did it mean to you when you first got here?
Well, I always knew Alabama-Tennessee was a big rivalry. I mean, I think, you kind of grow up knowing USC and UCLA is a rivalry, and Ohio State and Michigan's a rivalry, and, you kind of get the Alabama-Auburn. You kind of know Texas A&M used to be a rivalry. So, but you really, know that, but you don't, until you experience it firsthand, you really don't understand the magnitude because you're not really involved with the people who are involved in the game on both sides and what it means to so many people, especially, some of the people that have been Alabama supporters for a long time because the history and tradition of this game that goes way, way back to some great coaches like Coach Bryant and some of the coaches that they've had at Tennessee. So I understand firsthand the importance of this game, and I'm hopeful that, our team and coaches, all understand it just like, we need to be able to be motivated to play our best.
Just turn it off. We'll finish. We've only got one more. We ready? Right here with Alex.
Nick, there was a stat that came out last week about Alabama's played 25 ahead of the A&M game, 25 games since 2007 against teams coming off byes, more than 10 more than anybody else in the country. When you hear that kind of stat, does that surprise you? What's your reaction? You'll have 2 more coming up this season against teams coming off byes.
This is the first I heard of the stat. So if you want me to say how did I feel when I heard it, I'm telling you how I feel right now. All right, because I think things like that are really pretty meaningless. First of all, I think it's been very difficult for the conference with the addition of teams to, get the schedule set up, in the fairest way possible. And I'm sure that everybody in the conference office tries to do that in the best, most equitable way that they can for all the schools and all the teams. So I don't question that at all. I don't even know, based on how our team has played coming off of bye weeks, I don't even know sometimes how much a bye week is really beneficial. I think that, sometimes when your team is really playing well and you're on a roll and you're in a rhythm, that you just like to keep playing. And sometimes when your team is a little bit, dinged up, beat up, tired, whatever you might call it, it's sort of a welcome, change to have a few days where they can recover, recuperate, not practice quite as much, get some guys healthy. So if you don't totally understand the circumstance that every one of these situations sort of bring, you can't really assume that it's an advantage or a disadvantage, for a team to have a bye week. Now, I'm sure you got some other stat that would prove me wrong in saying that. I'm just going on how our team has responded, when we have bye weeks.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you.